Hey guys, Coach Nate here from The Run Experience. Today we were talking about how to run faster with a better hip position. I have two really cool drills for you that are also going to double as a core exercise and a running exercise, that when you really connect these two things together, it's going to really open up your stride so that you can really unlock that speed you didn't know you had. Hey, this video is brought to you by HealthIQ. HealthIQ is a life insurance agency committed towards rewarding healthy and active individuals and runners just as yourself with lower life insurance rates, upwards of like 30%, kind of crazy. They actually have a HealthIQ quiz you can take online. I just took it this morning, and it's a way of just seeing if you qualify for those lower rates. If you want to see if you qualify for lower rates or you want a free quote, go ahead and click this link in the video or in the link down below. Before we get into our first core exercise, I want to talk about this idea of leaning when we run, or falling when we run, or using gravity when we run to pull us forward. And it's almost as if you're this PVC pipe and you just lean forward at the ankles and you pick your feet up underneath you and you run this way. If you are familiar with chi running or pose running, they talk about that specifically. This is something that happens in all running, but those guys talk about it very much as a nail on the head. So I like that concept, but what was confusing to me as a younger runner was that I was also being told to run really tall. So I was confused because I was like, wait a minute, how can I run tall and fall forward at the same time? And I realized that you can do both, and it really comes down to where your hip position is. And in fact, instead of going this way, what I'm going to be doing is something like this, where I'm going to be pressing my hips forward, my chest is going to be up, and this is going to allow for better hip extension. Why is this important, and why does this matter, and why does leaning a concept in the first place? This is something, again, I've learned from the pose method guys. Anytime I am creating some sort of movement, you guys are gonna exhaust my physics in just a second. Hold on, we got a nice loud truck going right by us. I'm gonna take my center of mass, which is right now probably my hips, over my base of support, which is my feet. And if I wanna create movement, I have to destroy whatever balance I have. So if I shift my weight to one side, I'm gonna move this way. If I shift my weight over here, I'm gonna go this way. If I shift this way, I'm gonna go this way. So anytime we move our hips, we are creating some sort of destruction of balance, and we're gonna create some movement. So it's very important when we run to lead with our hips, because that weight shift is going to get us going forward. I don't want to lean though this way. I actually want to lean by pressing my hips forward, and that's what we're going to get into in this next drill. So I'm down here on the ground, and we are going to work on our arch body position and our arch body rocks. You may have heard of the exercise called a Superman, where you lift your arms and legs off the ground, you're on your belly. That's basically what we're doing. We're just, putting some fancier terms on it, just dressing it up a little bit. For us to understand how to lead with our hips when we run, we really have to understand the importance of extension, and not only extension in the hips, but extension through the whole body. And that's what this drill is perfect for. So I'm gonna come down here on the ground, and I'm gonna bring my arms up here and my legs here. Now, dollars to donuts for most runners, when I put them through this exercise and I say, all right, get yourself up in a position, they just crank on their low back and they pull themselves up this way. And they're like, well, I'm up here, but all this pressure has happened at this low back. It's always a little trick question I like to play. We're gonna go through it the way that I like to go through it, which is gonna be a little bracing sequence. So before I do anything, I wanna make sure my belly is tight as possible and my butt is squeezed. And I'm actually pressing my hips hard into the ground. The reason why I care about that is that when my butt is squeezed, this locks my pelvis into a good position. It prevents me from overextending and overarching my low back, so I feel very safe here. Some of you guys are gonna feel very sensitive when you do this, and it's because your butt is not squeezed enough and your abs are not tight enough. So remember, this core exercise, we need this and this really turned on. From here, my belly and butt's gonna be really tight. I'm just gonna peel my legs a 1/4 inch off the ground, that's it. I'm gonna peel my arms a 1/4 inch off the ground, that's it. And it may not be as exaggerated as the other one, but it's a lot more on tension. I'm gonna practice this arch body position for 3 30-second holds. Can I breathe into my belly while I do this? Can I lift my shoulders? Can I lift my legs? Can everything be turned on? No pain or smokiness in the low back. That is the goal. So now we're gonna add our arch body rock into the mix. And this is something that some runners really struggle with, but just like many things in life, the things you struggle with are usually the things that you need to do. And if you do them, you will come out the other end a better, stronger runner. So we're gonna get back into our arch body position. I'm pressing my hips hard into the ground, my belly and butt's tight. I have gone through that bracing sequence. I haven't rushed. I've peeled my legs a quarter inch off the ground. I've peeled my upper body a quarter inch off the ground. And what I'm gonna start to do is initiate with my legs by pulling my legs off the ground and pulling my upper body off the ground. And I'm gonna get this rock sequence. Notice that I'm not doing a lift and down. I'm not doing this. I'm staying on the tight the whole time, and I'm rocking back and forth this way. That is that sequence is sort of like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time. It gets a little challenging. Now, a way to give ourselves a little assistance here is to put our hands in a push-up position, belly and butt very, very tight. I'm gonna lift here. And some of you guys are gonna struggle to activate this. If you're having trouble with this rock, it's gonna be a little coordination. It might be a little bit overthinking it, believe it or not, and your inability to really pull with these legs. So make sure those legs are really engaged, your ability to kick your hips up, or your heels up. And then what I can do is use my arms to push against the pull of my legs. So it's gonna be pull, push back, pull, push back. And once I have this rhythm, then I can extend my arms and get into this rock. You're gonna work on 3 sets of 15 arch body rocks. That's gonna really get you understanding on how to press those hips forward, how to be an extension, so that when we do our next running drill with a band, which I'm gonna show you, that will really connect and make sense. So I have Brian here to help me out with our next drill, which is gonna be this partner band drill. Brian is actually part of the TRE community. He also trains locally in San Francisco at my home gym, San Francisco CrossFit. Brian just ran the California International Marathon in
2 hours and 59 minutes and 30 seconds.
Sub 3 at the age of 46, which is pretty awesome. And you've been going after it for a little while.
Yes, 2 decades it's taken me.
2 decades he's going for it. Anyway, this is a drill that Brian and I were talking about that's really helpful for him to average that 650 pace, which is pretty nuts all the way through. And so we're gonna show you today. So I've already lassoed Brian with this band. And right now, we're actually on this deck, so I'm not gonna let go of him. We're kind of playing the trust game here because he's gonna tip off over the edge. But we're gonna like run back and forth with this thing. But I just wanna show you guys this angle just so you see. So remember, I talked about the hip position. So the first thing Brian's going to do is just notice this way. Yep, he's just gonna face this way a little bit, a little diagonal angle. There we go. Brian doesn't know where to face, so I'm just gonna move him with my hands here on his shoulders. And he's just gonna lean forward and push those weight in through his hips. And just notice just a little bit of that tension right there, right? So this is like a little kinesthetic feedback, that movement. And he's just gonna start to run in place here. And he can start to pull against this band. How much do you trust me, Brian? I'm not gonna let go. And he's gonna start to think about this pressure with his hips, and you can rest. That's good. And what we're actually gonna do is go back and forth on this drill, on this drill. So I'm gonna start here. I'm gonna go this way, just about like 20 meters or so. I'm gonna walk, he's gonna run. He's gonna go at about a 50-60% effort. And I'm just gonna talk through it as he does it. He's tall, he's relaxed, he's driving through with those hips. We're walking, walking, walking. Pretend we already did those 20 meters. Now I'm gonna stop. I'm just gonna say, Brian, we're stopping now. I'm gonna let go. He's gonna drop the band, and he's just gonna go for a little run down to the edge and back. All the way back here. Kind of feels a little funky when you take the band off, right? And then we're
super light.
Super light. And then we're gonna go here, and we're gonna go towards the camera. Are you guys ready? Here we go, maybe a little harder. Pull, 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 pull. Nice, relaxed, good arm swing, feet are landing right underneath him. And once he gets about to the camera, we're gonna stop, and then he's gonna take the band off, and he's just gonna run this direction again. See how that feels? And back. So one of the things that we always find with runners when they do this drill you feel super light right after
Yeah.
that, light as a feather. And what's nice about this band is that it puts a little extra tension, so you really engage. It gets that hips where we need to be. And what's key is that this what leads to better hip stability every time I land with one foot on the ground, and it really opens up that stride for faster running. You could do this with a buddy, you know, 5 rounds of like 30 meters each, going back and forth. And then you could also, if you're solo, you could attach this band to some sort of pole in your house. Don't attach it and leave it on your doorknob, or your wife will get mad at you. I know from personal experience there. So something preferably secure, and you could actually do this in place as well. Brian, thanks for showing us the drill.
Yeah.
What you got next? What's the next marathon? Or half? Or just resting?
Yeah, just resting, trying to figure out something to do next. Maybe a triathlon.
Once he's got this sub 3, he's like, man, what do I do after this?
Check the box.
Incredible. Well, thanks, Brian.
Right on, thank you.
Testing, running, fun. I'm cold. Are you ready? Should we go? Running, fitness, excited. Testing. Hey, remember to take that HealthIQ quiz. It's actually pretty fun. I enjoyed looking on all the different questions on nutrition and activity levels and strength training. And if you take it, you'll actually see if you qualify for lower life insurance rates. And all you need to do to take that quiz is click this link in the video or in the description down below. Of course, if you like this video, let us know. Drop a comment down below too. Give us a video request if you want. And of course, subscribe to our channel. We got new videos coming out each and every week. So make sure you hit that little bell, because that's gonna give you those notifications when those videos get released. Speaking of, guys, I gotta keep filming. I'll catch you later.